What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Market Journey, and I'm going to be giving y'all some insight on a stock that I think is going to double over the next year. So what stock are we talking about? We're talking about Fubo. I'm going to be breaking down my bullish case and why I think this stock is going to double. Number one, we're in the streaming era. People are getting rid of cable and hopping on streaming services left and right. Generally speaking, streaming services are a lot cheaper, and also they provide the exact same services. With cable, it's kind of a hassle. You have to have somebody come out to your house and install all this big equipment. But with somebody like Fubo, you can download an app and you can watch almost anything that you want to. They have sports packages. They have all types of channels. You get the same service with a cheaper cost and at less of a hassle. And that brings us to point number two. People are wanting cable TV less and less. So as you see from this report from Fortune, it says about 6.6 million households are expected to cut the cord this year, according to research firm eMarketer. That leaves just 77.6 million still paying a 7.5% drop, the steepest one-year drop on record, eMarketer said. From the peak of pay TV subscriptions in 2014, 23% of households have now cut the cord. So of all pay TV subscriptions, 23% of them have actually cut their subscriptions, and they're probably moving towards Netflix, Fubo, Disney Plus, things like that. So the streaming services still have a lot of room to grow. That brings us to point number three, is year-over-year growth. As you can see, Q3 2020 revenue jumped 949%, which is absolutely insane. And I think these revenue numbers are going to continue to grow year over year for the foreseeable future. And on top of that, if you guys don't remember, 2020 was an amazing year for streaming services. And also, Fubo is a sports-first streaming service. And if you guys don't remember, Q4 2020 was absolutely insane for sports. Almost every single major sport was playing in Q4 2020 because of all the shutdowns and delays and everything like that. You had NBA playoffs, MLB playoffs, you had NFL, college football, golf. You had almost every single sport playing in Q4 2020. So I would expect Fubo to get amazing numbers for Q4 2020, and their earnings for Q4 are coming out in March. So that is going to be massive. But although they are a sports-first streaming service, they still have multiple channels. These are just the sport channels, and as you can see, they have NFL Network, MLB Network, NBA TV, Golf Channel, ESPN. They have almost everything you could ask for. SEC Network, Pac-12, Big Ten, they have it all. But putting that aside, they still have all these regular channels as well. You know, they have Disney Channel, they have Nickelodeon, the History Channel, ID, Fox, ABC, everything that you can almost think of, all the main channels, they do have access to those as well. That brings us to number five, which is pricing. Now, first we need to compare the pricing of TV subscriptions and then a company like Fubo. In the second paragraph, as you can see, it says, a recent report published by DecisionData.org in March of this year found that the average U.S. consumer pays more for their cable package, an average monthly cost of $217.42, of which TV services constitute 50% than they do for most other household utilities combined. So basically what that is saying is, if you add up all the utility costs, most times cable TV takes up 50% of that, which is absurd. That is crazy to me. And I can understand why someone would not want to pay that much for cable TV. With that being said, if you come over here and you look at Fubo pricing, you can get a family package for $64.99 a month. You can have 3 screens at once. You can have 115 channels, 130 plus events in 4K, and you can add sports channels and things like that for an extra $10.99 a month. So as you can see, it is a lot cheaper than going with the pay TV subscription route. That also brings us into point number 6. COVID was an amazing year for streaming services. Last year, streaming services shot through the roof. Because of all the lockdowns, people were stuck at home and they watched a lot of TV, which had to be massive for a company like Fubo. Also, on top of that, when you think about it, almost every single person I know has at least one streaming service, whether it's Netflix, Fubo, Disney Plus, Hulu, any of them you can think of. Almost every person I know has at least one. Most of them have multiple, but most have at least one. And the common household usually has TV. So the total addressable market for a company like Fubo is absolutely massive. And Fubo is honestly still at ground level, so they have lots of room to grow. Now, what should we not be worried about? As you can see right here, it says risk number 1, forget profits. While Fubo TV just pre-announced impressive 77 to 84% revenue growth and better than expected subscriber growth for the recent fourth quarter, the company still doesn't even make gross profits. The reason you shouldn't worry about that is this company is still very new. It's still a tiny company when you look at other streaming services. This company has not even broken the ice yet. And with that being said, their pricing is set to grow subscriptions and gain more customers. As they get more customers, just like you see with Netflix, they will end up upping the price a little bit, but ultimately it's still going to be the cheaper route than to go with the normal cable TV. Also, I would like to add, Tesla has been around for years and years and years, and just recently, they have been able to take quarter-over-quarter profits. So profits at this stage in a company is really not that important. The most important thing here is really just growth, subscriptions, and things like that. Some other notable things that I want to take into account. This article right here says Comcast takes a 9.3% stake in Fubo TV. So you have a company as big as Comcast, which is Xfinity, taking a very big stake in Fubo TV. In my opinion, this is a great move for a company like Comcast because they understand that the market for cable TV subscriptions is going way down. But what's going up? Streaming services. Investing in a company like Fubo is allowing them to adapt to the new markets. If you stay stagnant in a changing market, you will drown. So I think Comcast made a really good move right here, and I think they're going to make a lot of money in return for this. There is also a lot of big institutional holders for Fubo like BlackRock and Bank of America. So this is not just a retail investor target. You're talking about big institutions and big players that are in that field really believe in this company as well. If I really wanted to, I probably could find more reasons why I think this is a good investment, but I'm going to stop it there. So if you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel for daily content, leave me a comment in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on Fubo, and I hope to catch you on the next video. Peace.